Yo, what's up, jazz guitar friends? Larry Tamanini here with Jazz Guitar Under 5 Minutes. You just caught me playing through a blues using one finger. And you're saying, LT, why would you do that? Well, I got a video response or a response to a question I asked about what kind of video would you like me to put up. And Pick and Stone, thanks for all the support, suggested an articulation themed video. Now, I think talking about articulation and certainly notating articulation is one of the hardest things to articulate. So much is learned, from jazz, from listening to it. Very hard to really get articulation down on a piece of paper. But the whole point of playing guitar or being a soloist is to try to get as close to a human voice as possible, right? A vocal-like quality. When you start to pick all your notes, you kind of, that's pretty swinging, and certainly I could play it faster than what I just played. Was there much difference? Slight. The first thing is, can you play some of your lines with one finger? And if you're in a rut and you feel like you play in the same area all the time, this is going to be really helpful too. But for right now, let's just kind of talk about if I can cover that much ground with one finger, that's a pretty good indicator that I'm comfortable on my fretboard. I'll start out a lot of solos using one finger to sort of get my feel, and again to sort of limit myself, because if it was up to me, I would probably play a lot more notes. Even trying to be judicious, it's just a force of habit. Also, I kind of think it swings a lot harder when you're using just one finger. And again, you're kind of forcing yourself out of that area. I love to play between this 5th and 8th fret. The idea of playing a line or a phrase that sort of encompasses an octave and a half or 2 octaves, it's definitely going to give your phrases a little bit more of a horn-like quality and kind of like give you some room to build. If you're playing up here all the time, it's going to be hard to, you can't really go anywhere unless you go up top. And if you're playing down low, that's cool to start, but after a while you're sort of in the bass player's area, and if you're playing with a piano player, that's not giving the pianist much room to do a whole lot either. So you have to be able to use all the area. Use all the guitar can give you, from the low notes to the high notes. Using your first finger is, again, great way to learn your fretboard, but it's also a great way to get some articulation ideas, especially when you're playing melodies. Again, when you're stating a melody just like a vocalist would, you don't want to pick everything. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to swing a little bit harder and maybe you're in a rut and you're kind of tired of the way that you're playing, use one finger to try to play a melody. Use one finger to be able to play through like a blues or like 8 bars of a tune. And you'll definitely find that you'll get into some new territory, probably on the fretboard and then musically as well. We're all somewhat pre-programmed to want to play a lot of the same stuff. You know, don't let the guitar play you. You're playing the guitar and playing the music at this point because you're thinking maybe vertically. But again, if you're trying to play, you know, across the fretboard and you're trying to play like a blues, you know, and trying to connect ideas, that's a great way to again, just a great way to sort of get some ideas going. Obviously, I've played some of those ideas enough times to be able to recall them and sort of mix and match where I want to. But I think it was a big part of the way that I play and just being able to articulate notes well, because you're not just playing right on the note. If you're trying to approach that third by a half step or even like that, again, very subtle, where I kind of, some people will call that an appoggiatura or an enclosure, but you get the idea. It also gets some grease on there, and it gets some stuff that you can't really notate inside your lines. So if you're tired of playing your eighth notes, try to play those eighth notes using limited fingerings. See if you can get them with one finger or your first and your third, and you'll end up being really surprised at how those same lines sound different with this approach. All right, jazz guitar friends, thanks so much for hanging out. Have a great day. Keep swinging. Thanks for all the support. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for all the amazing feedback. Bebop!